So I'll just call to order a work session, because Matt's not here. Yep. And it's March 6th, and it's 9:35. Wait a second. That's us. Yep.
I guess for the viewing public, we should introduce ourselves.
I'm Rachel Palmer. I've been on the rec committee for 5 years.
And I'm Liz Sears. I've been on the rec committee. Yeah, 3 or 4 years.
And Emmy Hoff, Recreation Director. And we do want to say welcome to our friends in the audience. Feel free, we're not super formal. If you have any questions, feel free. All right, let's see here. Let's start with the corrected pay rate. So the budget that I had originally given to you guys, I had the wrong pay rate for me in. I took the wrong top number and it threw all of these off. Let me just grab that one for you. It was the pay rate's supposed to be. Sorry, I pulled summaries for you guys for a bunch of stuff. I get that one. That one.
What was the last one?
Yeah. So that's not. And I did print it. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. I'm missing the right form.
There's so many forms.
So the corrected, inclusive of the assistant director's position, would be $81,274.56. There you go, Liz. Yep. And that's my base wages at, well, including the clothing and longevity at $64,132.30. You guys don't have that second sheet. I can give it for you if you want. So that was corrected. I also put
that was
the finance meeting on Tuesday. Yep. Dawn, I did the numbers according to the matrix, but didn't do the percentage. So it threw my formulas all off. So then the front cover sheet, I pulled off the assistant director's position. I was notified that will be removed. And that puts us down for this year for $64,132.30. And that's for salaries, right? Those are the salaries. Yeah.
So that position is just completely fed.
Right. Well, there's the funding from the town, which is the 7,000 and some change, would be removed, and that leaves the 10,000 from us. So if we wanted to go forward with it, we would need to come up with all of the funds ourselves, or just remove it for now. All right. So this is with it fully removed. Keeping in mind that the original budget had not just the funds, the 7,000 and some from the town, but it also included the 10,000 that gets pulled from the revolving fund and put into the general to cover that. And I do have that in some of this paperwork for us to show you where that is. All right, so that was corrected. Yes, of course.
Did you have budget cuts?
So we are in anticipation of budget cuts and conversations in the event that costs need to be removed. The towns and recreation, we don't have a lot in our budget. It's my salary. It's a portion less than 50% of the assistant director's part-time position and $2,500 that goes towards the operations of the building and supplies for the program. So there's really not a lot of place to go. So we'd be looking at that. Yeah. And that's been what makes the most amount of sense as needed for the town.
Yeah, I missed the budget hearing.
and it hasn't been put on YouTube.
Oh, that's right. You had left before I came through.
I'm anticipating that, so I'm just,
Sure.
whatever you guys, I'm assuming that some of that happened,
Mm.
that conversation was then, or you just being.
No, I'm proactively, we're preempting just to see where we're at as a whole.
Can I ask another unrelated question?
Please.
Related to the beginning.
Sure.
You not have a quorum?
No, so we're just we're working. No
How
voting.
many do you have on the commission?
We have 3 filled and we have 4 on the commission,
But
correct?
there's four on the commission, so you need 3
Yeah.
commissioners for a quorum, so you don't have that.
Correct.
You just-
Yeah. We had scheduled for all of them to be here, and Matt Evans, who is our third and our secretary, he actually was planning on going to Florida yesterday and zooming in today. However, his flight was canceled, and so he had to rebook for this morning, and he should be getting on the plane right about now. So, needless to say, he cannot zoom in. So we didn't want to cancel the meeting because there are a lot of numbers that the board needs to be aware of as we go forward, realizing that the town's in crunches. We're not voting on anything. No, this is just informative so that we know where we are, and questions about keeping rec open, going over what we know of the finance committee with the fitness court, and what we have for our current budgets going forward. Sure. No, not at all. It's better to clarify. All right. So let's go here. Let's go here next. All right. So what I did was I pulled together this question, obviously, about payroll. That's the thing. That's our biggest expenditure for Towns and Recreation. And keeping in mind that for Towns and Recreation, we actually staff throughout the year anywhere from 3 to, I think our highest was 19 positions throughout the year. So, and the majority of our staff are young adults that are working for us either for a season, for temporary, for fractional, throughout our programs, for our programs. So none of our young adult staff is administrative in that way. They're for positions, for programs. All right, so let's talk about where we are for our payroll first. Because again, I think there's confusion in the public when they see our budget and it says like $150,000 or $180,000. Like, well, where is that money? So where does that come from? All right, so a revolving fund works in such that whatever programs or fundraising that we have, the funds come in, and then we are required for the funds to go out. So it revolves. The money comes in, the money goes out. And that funding does not come from the town. It does not come from taxpayers, and it is not part of your tax bill. It is separate as the funds that are made through the programming of Towns and Recreation. Our employees, with, again, the exception of myself and the assistant director's part-time position, we are the only thing that is on the town budget, part of the general fund, which is paid for by taxpayers. And in that case, it's my full salary. And then it would be, again, it's less than 50% of the assistant director. So it's a portion of.
Which we've already said.
Which we've already said. Yep, that can, we can close that out if necessary. Okay. So let's go where we are, I guess, financially now, and then we can talk about what we make for payroll or what we have for payroll. So I pulled my last reports from Kate, who is the accountant, for end of month January of 2025, just to show where we're at currently in our financial world. There you go. You're very welcome. So you've got the general ledger and the expenditure ledger, okay? The one that's, oh, I'm happy to get them for you if you'd like them. Yeah. Let me,
You guys want to do it?
did you guys want some copies as well, or do you just want them afterwards? Afterwards? Okay. Let me see if I can just throw some of these into the printer now.
That me and Liz, yeah, together. While we're discussing.
Yeah.
You
You guys want to share? Okay. I'm getting some prints for you guys.
See if you print it, I can grab it.
Let's see what these printed for you. Sorry for the interruption, folks. So which one was I just on? Oh, the expenditures. That one is, oh, I didn't have that. Guys, that's January. I'm sorry for the interruption. Do some technical difficulties here. It's printing. Okay. Oh, I think he's some of the stuff printing, not this yet. January. Let me put these up for you guys really quick. Just get a couple, and then I can do some double-sided and what have you for you guys afterwards. All right, you want to see if those have pulled up? Yes.
And then the one in your office.
Yep. Yep. See if I've got both of those up. And then I'll get the rest of these as we go. Thanks. Do you have the ledger history and the expense control report? Are those the two that came out? I didn't start fancy printing, so I'm not sure what else here. All right. Oh yeah, those printed weird. Those ones printed weird. Did you?
Weird.
Yeah. All right. So you've got that for now. All right. This is the expenditure and general ledger. Okay. Did you guys want to share this one for now? What we're just talking about here?
Yeah.
So this is end of month, January 2025. So you'll see, so the town of expense control report, expenditure ledger, that is the general fund that is utilized for those salaries and the $2,500 for the supplies. And our year-to-date unexpended balance is $40,862. And our original was $79,712 and 35 cents. So that is the budget, that is the funds that come from the taxpayer and a deposit of $10,000 from our revolving fund into the general fund to cover the assistant director's position if it had been filled. Okay, does everybody understand that part? Okay. So again, I realize revolving is a little bit different than standard budget. So I just want to make that clear. So the second one, end of month, January, it's ledger history. You'll see right after account 203-655-1040, it's the third account listing down where it says recreation revolving cash on res. We're at 30, our ending is at 35,964 right now and 24 cents. And if you go a couple down, you'll see where that transfer to general fund for the 10,000 goes towards the assistant director's position. You guys see that too? And if you go back, you'll see under our debit at the top where we're at, what we spent is 109.32 and 8 cents. So that's a number that seems to get confused where, oh my gosh, they're spending all this money. That is not the funds that come from the town. And it's not something that we request in our budget from the town. That is funds that we've brought in and made purchases for. And you'll see that this has payrolls, this has purchases, all throughout this. So that's where we are with this one currently. And that's from 7/1 of 2024 until end of month, January 25. Are there any questions on there?
No.
Okay, so now we know where we're sitting currently. These did kind of like really sort of weird. So this is, okay. So I'm gonna share this over to you guys. Let me give you guys, I'll keep the weird ones that don't print right for me, because I can read them. And I'll give them one of the ones that printed.
Well, Rachel, I can share. Yeah, I'm sharing, so that way you can get.
So you need that one and that one.
Yeah.
And you guys put that one and that one. 23, 24, and I printed. Get this to you guys. You guys. And then I'm happy to. And again, this is our calculated time summary and it's payroll summary. So what I've given you guys, and again, I'll go over this. I'm happy to make these copies for you just to give you the general numbers for now. So the first one I have is dates January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2023. So not as a fiscal year, as a calendar year. Because keeping in mind for us, so obviously our budget works within the fiscal year. However, we are, because the summer is a large program and it literally comes in like the cut between the fiscals. So I ran the payrolls this way. I did run them fiscal as well. So we'll go over that afterwards. But you guys currently have the full year for 2024 and 2023. And if you take a look at 2023, we spent $133,506.30 on payroll. And that is inclusive of me.
And to confirm, all but the salary we just discussed has been from money that we have raised to the program.
Correct. And it can be broken down. I just didn't do it in this one. Yep.
It always surprises me.
And then 2024, our final was $135,712 and 73 cents. And this is the total, and I'm just going to put in here just so that you know. So for 2023, we worked a total of 6,391 hours, 0.35. And in 2024, we worked a total of 6,303 and 45. So within those, so let's just break it down even a little bit further in that. Within that 100,000, and I'm just going to say 100,000 instead of going 109 and 135, whatever. Everybody that works for Townsend Recreation is within our communities, either Townsend or the surrounding towns. So it's $109,000 of pay rates that are going to our community members. Young adult, myself, they're buying cars, they're putting money into college funds, they're going grocery shopping, they're paying for clubs at the school, for fees. And on top of that, they are all getting CPR and first aid certified. They're getting SEL training, team management training, group management training. They're getting child development training. So that's within that $109,000. So just keep in mind that that money is actually still staying within our communities.
Not mention all the money that's saving and helping people
Oh yeah.
in our community.
Oh yeah. Hundreds of thousands of dollars between rates. All right. So the other numbers that I did the fiscal year, realizing that we're only partially through, just again, so we can see where we are as a comparison. Thank you. Ladies, I'll get this right over to you. All right. So I did fiscal year 24. Again, realizing because our programs run differently and our revolving fund runs differently, I wanted to make sure that we saw the two sets. So for the fiscal year 2024, not the calendar year, it was $139,820.74 on payroll. And fiscal year 25 to March 1st, so I did the numbers to March 1st, which was the end of our last payroll cycle, we are at $92,155.15. So despite the massive increases of the country in escalating rates, escalating fees, escalating purchase prices, we have stayed very, very well aligned for the last 3 years. We have raised rates very little, and yet we're still managing to put these funds in the rate of payroll and savings to families where they can spend those savings elsewhere into the community without asking for more from the town. So I think that probably handles the funding question. Now, let's go. Yeah, I'm sorry, what are our rates? So we're just getting ready. This is very exciting. I can give it to you. A little bit. A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. I'll get it to you. I'll get it to you here, right? In just a second. I mean, it's
the beginning of April.
Yeah. So we're kind of like, I actually just got the approval, the clearing from the Unibank, who is our online provider, that all of our transactions for summer are in and ready to go. So that means we get to release our summer program for registrations, which is awesome. Our Rec Kids is year round, and I actually just put together a program for adults where we're going to be turning in recycling, used hardcover books, and doing floral arrangements within the open pages. Very beautiful. Yeah, it's like art. So anyway, so I can go over some of those with you if you'd like afterwards. Like I said, we haven't released summer yet, but I'm happy to still go over those. That's fine. And just to put into perspective, I wanted to put our Unipay deposit for the month of February, which is our online registrations purchasing, was $3,482, and that is not reflected in any of these yet. All right.
So each month you're gonna pay deposits into that account.
Yeah, each
Obviously,
month we do a deposit. Yep.
January would be bigger and.
Yeah, different.
Because of what the programs that we're on.
Right, depending on
So
the
that's
programs,
reflected
vacation.
in the
No, it honestly, I mean, we've had deposits up to, $35,000, just depending on when the season what season we're in, what programs we're running. But typically in the quieter months, I want to say it's usually between like 2,500 and 4,000 is usually where we see most of our deposits. I'm not going to say all, but most of them, because with, vacations and shutdowns for weather and what have you, they can be different. All right. So let's talk about threats of closure. I'll get to the program funding afterwards, if that's okay. So it was brought up on Tuesday's meeting that I went to for the finance committee that the phrasing was, I believe, well, if we just closed recreation, if we close the recreation department, are you still an employee and you get paid? And then I understand it very similarly came up again on Saturday. I was not there, and I have not seen it yet because I couldn't find it yet. But I spoke with a board select member, as well as the town administrator, and both of them assure me that that is not the case and it has not been brought up yet, that recreation is going to be closed. So, and the answer to that question is yes, if you close recreation, I will be out of a job, as will all of the other staff, because we are the department.
And that will create an extreme vacuum for many parents.
Yes, and a vacuum for employment. Right.
Yeah.
With the same demographic, if I might say, of the schools closing and shifting. So we're in the same demographic. So that's that. But like I said, I want to dispel that from what I've heard beyond just finance committee meetings, that it has not been discussed as happening through the Board of Selectmen or with the town administrator. All right. Rumors heard by the FinCom member. I've received a couple of questions about this, about our fitness court. So again, I want to clarify our fitness court. I was not prepared with all of our information, and I'd like to be. 5 years ago, we started working with the National Fitness Campaign. It is a nationwide campaign to bring health and wellness basically to everybody. Bottom line, everybody. If you think back to like movies way back in the 70s at like the beaches in California and Arnold Schwarzenegger, like I think he was in one of the first movies, and they had those wooden structures out on the beach. So that was the original fitness court. And this company that we're using, the National Fitness Court campaign, they actually started way back. And there is a short video. I will make sure it's available on our website. It is on our Facebook page, but I'll make sure it's available on our website so you can go and watch yourself. But it is nationalfitnesscampaign.com. And they started planting these outdoor fitness courts across the country. Big cities, small towns, college campuses, sports campuses. And what they are is an outdoor fitness campaign, fully infrastructured with exercises, 7 minutes, 7 stations. There's online support, online classes. There is team competitions, there's challenges, there's tracking. There's all levels of fitness from beginner all the way through to way expert can all utilize this. The best part is on our end, unlike, again, quite a few of the towns, we did not take any funds out of the town's general fund budget or capital planning to make this happen. So we have a grant from Massachusetts Blue Cross Blue Shield. We have a grant from MIIA. We have ARPA funding that was slotted for health and wellness specifically for the town of Townsend. We are requiring still, we need to get a concrete pad built. Again, that is in the hands of the building department and cemetery and parks. And that's going to average to about $10,000, and they're working on donation in kind. And then we require $30,000, $30,500 for the builders of the court. So we do not have that yet. However, we do have fundraising lined up. I have letters lined up, and we're going to be doing some videos. We actually, Liz, I'm going to throw you right there with me under the bus. We'll be releasing them because it's been a little while since we have. Now, keeping in mind, we started this 5 years ago.
A few weeks before COVID started.
Right before
Yeah,
COVID started, yeah.
right before COVID. we were-
Leaking everywhere. And in that time, I want to say there's been 6 or 7 fitness courts built in Massachusetts since we started this progress. There is one in Chelmsford, there's one in Tingsboro, there's one in Burlington, just for our local area. I understand that Fitchburg's speaking with them at this point, or the Fitchburg area, I'm not sure where specifically, is speaking with them as well. But I am going to sort of like throw out a little quip here. So Liz, myself, and my husband went to the one in Burlington. And again, I'm happy to get impact reports from National Fitness Campaign if anybody has any questions for those. I have sent them along to our town administrator and the Board of Selectmen already. We took some videos because so Liz was beginner fitness. My husband is absolutely in the expert level, and I am that in between. And what we did is we actually went on the app and we each put in our different workouts and worked the stations. And we worked the same stations with each of our levels of workouts so that we could do a comparison between what we were all doing. And it was really awesome. I mean, the court, so Leahy Clinic funded the entire court in Burlington, Mass. The court is really amazing. It's got like this bouncy turf. The equipment is fantastic. The warranty is 30 years. And we had a great time. It was easy to use. There was writing. And if you didn't want to use, and we did break it down, hey, let's turn off our phones and just go by the writing literally on the wall, you can just follow the instructions that are right there for each of the stations as well. So it's not required. Yep. And my understanding, and not all towns take advantage of it, but all towns do have it. There are fitness court ambassadors that we'll be looking for within the town. It's not a paid position, but you get fully trained on all the equipment and you can actually lead classes, which again is pretty fantastic. Now, the number one best part about this, outside of showing our care and attention to the health and wellness of our community, is that it is free to the taxpayer. You don't have to pay anything to use it. The numbers from National Fitness Campaign on the average that each fitness court in our area or our weather zone spends on maintenance for the year is $1,000. And we can handle that with our revolving fund. So that's to dispel any rumors that might be going on about the fitness court. We have the equipment currently, and we are just in waiting for fundraising on that $30,500 and getting the cement pad built, which we can't do in this weather currently anyway. It's going to be a couple months before we can get a cement pad down because of the water in the cold.
You raised any?
Of the 35?
Yeah.
No, not yet. Letters are going out. We're really we've been talking some
We did stop.
we did.
COVID happened because we were kind of, trying to be realistic and supportive. We didn't think it was the right time to be fundraising for our local community.
Yeah. And
we're having hardships.
Right. So I've been putting out grants, like a lot of grants. We want to get it done by the end of September or the end of the summer. The grant is the end of the year. So, yeah.
Raise that 30,000
Yep,
through
grants, fundraising, however we do it. Yep,
donation.
correct. Yep, correct.
This calendar year, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Well, so I've run the grant gamut, and as again, a lot of people know, we've got things shutting down left and right, which makes a difference for a lot of the grants as well. We lost our grant writer here in town, which made things a little difficult, and again, priorities, right? So I'm back in the fray for the grants. I'm not the best grant writer, but I'm pretty good. And we're doing the fundraising. I have the letters for our community as well as local businesses in this area. The positioning of the fitness court right back here in the center of town makes it especially attractive because it allows for the rail trail, it allows for the local businesses, ease of parking, ease of use, and security all in one place, which is huge. It's like the quadfecta of taking care of business. All right, so that hopefully takes care of any rumors about waste or funds or anything else that has to do with the fitness support. I don't know what the rumors are, but I'm hoping that covers all of it.
Any questions?
Is there any questions about it otherwise?
Weird, it's like we had since we started it.
Yeah.
That's not, I mean. I agree.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
right from the beginning, there was a concern
where the money came from.
where that
Mhm.
there was a boondoggle
Mhm.
and this is a lot of money,
Mhm.
and what do we need something like this for?
Yeah,
And then the cost, it's like,
yeah.
oh, this is gonna cost it. And even if you, I don't remember what you said then.
Mhm. Well, I will say
but I
that
think
delaying,
There's always been a concern
Yeah,
that.
delaying 5 years, inched that cost up quite a bit, which, is the situation. That's what we're heading. But if we don't, right. Yeah. And I will say too that with COVID, I think we all, even those people that had no concern whatsoever with health and fitness or outdoor activity, I think the majority of the country, the majority of the world realized that being outdoors and being fit is helpful. So I think that alone makes this a benefit to the community. Speaking with real estate agents in the area, it's definitely an added value to the town as a community, as a selling point to local businesses that may want to come in. Having something like that is fantastic. To the sports teams at the school, it gives them a whole nother avenue. To the seniors that maybe don't want to play pickleball or do one of the classes that are there. It's right here and it's at your time. It's open dawn to dusk is usually the opening. Yeah.
Concerns about all the federal government's cutting out this funding.
Yeah, no, we're pushing.
Yes, it's gonna be hard. No,
We're going.
don't do what you did during COVID.
Exactly. No, we're going.
Just.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah, we're going. We're going all in.
Cause you don't have.
Well, like you said, we've seen the cost of it go
Yeah.
up, so it made our job harder.
You have
Yeah.
to put that.
Right. And just from last year to this year, when again, trying to be sensitive to the economic environment, not just of the country, but of our communities very specifically, because of the families, a lot of the families that I see through rep and hear their stories, because we're with them for years. I mean, some of them their kids start as soon as they hit 5, and then the next thing you know, I'm hiring them. So that's really kind of cool, but trying to be sensitive to that and realize where we're at. But the benefits are so huge to the community as a whole, and 30 years of access to something free that is healthful is pretty awesome. And from every community, for everybody. And from the communities that we've spoken to directly or that I've gone to, I've spoken with the recreation director in Burlington, Mass. I've talked to some of them folks by email for the other towns. It's an awesome, awesome structure. So let me just put that in there that there is no need whatsoever to worry about budgetary concerns when it comes to the fitness court. It is not in your budget. That's the easiest way I can say it. It's not in your budget. So, programs. I think that's it. Does anybody else have any questions on that? But yeah, I will be sharing those videos. So you'll be able to see me and Liz and Dan working out in Burlington. It's all right, Liz. You want me to put a smiley face over you? All right, so programs. Let me just pull some of that up right now. Just because I just put it in, and it's kind of exciting. Actually, it's very exciting.
Actually, let's go back to.
Sure.
I'm doing my YouTube channel
Yeah.
and you're talking about donations. If someone in the community
Mhm.
wants to donate.
Yep.
To this project, how should they how do they do that? Who should they make the check out to?
Towns and Recreation, it would be memoed to the fitness court.
Where do they send it?
So they would send it to Town Hall. So it would be Towns and Recreation, 272 Main Street, Townsend, Mass. 01469. Best contact. You can do it online, Unipay. We have something called general payments, and you can note in that as well where the funds need to go. But you can send me an email at ehoff, it's EHOFF at townsendma.gov as well. And I'm happy to answer all of this. Of course. So yes, so contacting me, one of my board members is the best way to go about it, to give you options and to make sure that you have the correct links to go to if you want to pay online, or the correct address to send a check. All right, so let me just see here. I want to go ahead and give you guys some, you're going to get like everybody's going to get a preview for rates. That's kind of exciting before it actually goes live.
And when do you expect this to go live?
So I actually have Megan, who is one of our staff members, is coming in this afternoon. She just finished her degree in social marketing, or social media and marketing. And she's actually coming in this afternoon to do our posters, our landing page, and to do the links that we need. So it should be Friday or Saturday. And we'll have it out and running. All right.
Have a video you want to send me
Absolutely.
for my channel as well.
Happy to. And so Townsend's summer program has been going on since the early 70s, is my understanding. It's pretty long running. Yeah, I know. I went, my girls went. Yeah, it was like I was there. All right, sorry guys. I'm just trying to get my link for, oh, here it is. So I can give you guys numbers. Now, a couple of exciting things with our summer program this year. We've actually added a new option as well that has been asked for ages. And so there's like two really amazing things. Because of the way the calendar works this year, and because of our contract with the schools, for facility use, we're actually a full 8 weeks this year. So we open June 22nd and we close on August 15th. Monday through Friday, we are closed July 4th. But we have
22nd to what was it again?
June 23rd to August 15th. So it's actually 8 weeks this year. So the year of COVID, or the year after COVID, we were down to 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Those 2 years, but required by the schools. They,
We have to work.
So we work within their boundaries. Now, our program's open from ages 5 to 12, and then we have a CIT counselor and training program that is 13 to 16. Now, the summer rec information currently, it is up on Unipay. Like I said, we haven't actually released the promotions for it, but I mean, if anybody sees this before then, they're welcome to go on in because it's ready. Registration's ready. So the other thing that's really exciting, two other things that are really exciting, we've added a single day use that we haven't done in years, since we took a lot of, probably since the very beginning when it was mostly a cash. Like I want to say when, probably not even for me, I think when Karen was here, they might have done some day use drop in. We haven't, but we have added a single day use. And we've done it for single day passes. So we have, you can do so I have full days and half days for that. And I'll just do one full day, one half day. So the full day would be 75, and that's 8 to 4. So it's a full 8-hour day. And then the half day is 8 to noon, and that's 42. And the way it's set up online is you can buy up to 3 at a time for that.
And how much is it for the whole summer?
So for the whole summer, for the full program, full-time, full program, 8 to 4, it is $2,030. And that's just over $6 an hour. Yeah. And then we are doing, again, we've brought back the half day because it's been asked. The world has changed a lot in the last 5 years, and we're really trying to work with our, and again, right? And we're trying to work with our community, and they're shifting hybrid jobs or remote jobs or not remote jobs. Now they're going back to the office full time. We're really trying to work within their needs and their kids' playtime, to maximize what they can play. So then the half day is 1,016, and that's for the full summer.
8 weeks.
Full 8.
And is that just morning or is that afternoon as well? Can you?
So half day, we have it in as 8 to noon, because that's 90% of what's been requested of us, but we do make exceptions. If they contact us, they'll be like, hey, is it okay if we do noon to 4 instead? That's fine. It becomes paperwork now. I just need to shift where we are. But we do have it in for 8 to noon. It's just a much easier. We also have a 5-day pass, and we brought this to the area when I first started. 5-day pass. Again, let's clarify what a 5-day pass is. So it's like an amusement park. You get a pass, you purchase 5 days, and you can use them anytime within the season. So it's not 5 consecutive days. It is not a week long. It is 5 individual days within one pass. Right. So we do request 48 hours stuffing. So our 5-day passes go from 280. So that would be, again, it's 5 days and it's an 8-hour day, 8 to 4. A lot of programs have like a 9 to noon or a 9 to 3, but we do a full work day. And we also do our extended day program. And how that works is in the mornings, the kids, when we're at Spalding, the kids are here, 6:45 till 8 o'clock, we walk them to the school. And then in the afternoon, 4 o'clock, they come back here and they're here till 6 p.m. So we have extended in the AM and in the PM. When we are at Hawthorne, the last week of our program is always at Hawthorne so that Spalding can get ready to do their opening and teachers can start moving in. We will be utilizing the library space, meeting hall space. So that's starting into the work. So again, we just walk them down and we walk them back, and we bring all of our miscellaneous fun stuff with us. So, and the rates on that obviously vary from, there's 8 weeks, there's 5-day pass, and there's single day use for those. So you can, go online and look at the range, but AM, PM at single day is at $16.25 and $26. For 5-day pass is at $78 and $125, and at 8 weeks for AM is $570, and PM as at $912.
And just to clarify that, what were our numbers last year?
Of kids, we had hundreds.
Yeah.
Hundreds plus. And we averaged, I think we averaged like 47 kids a day, maybe.
Yeah, I think that I'm kind of like between there and.
I know. I have to pull it all back up again, but yeah. Well, so it was lower the year prior. We had like that,
We went up to
right after COVID, like cleared and everybody went back to work. We dropped numbers a bit because parents were like, oh, we're going on vacation. There was a lot of families were going on vacation. Camps were finally opened. We are one of the very few camps in Massachusetts that actually stayed open through COVID and after COVID, following all of the guidelines set out by the state,
but
Board of Health, etc. So we
to roughly say,
kept going.
There's servicing an average of around 50 kids.
Yeah, probably a day. Yeah.
Throughout that 8 weeks.
And that can go way up depending on what we're doing and way down. And then we also do a couple of public days during the summer. We do 2 water days on the common, and we do a bike rodeo that is open to the youth, general public, at no cost. So that is coming through. We're also getting ready to set out, and again, I'm just waiting on you to pay for this one, is to get the transactions for Egg Your Yard done. So again, I'm going to say, like I did in the FinCom meeting there, if your kids are watching, they don't need to know that the Easter Bunny is coming through Towns and Recreation. But Egg Your Yard, kind of a funny title, but what we do is actually bring eggs filled with candy and toys to families' houses after dark the night before Easter, and we hide them according to the parents' instructions. Usually, they're like, use the back door, use the front door, whatever. We contact police departments, we go through the neighbors, etc., so everybody's aware and everybody's safe. And it's just another fun thing. And it takes some of the weight off busy families. We get a lot of grandparents that do it that are having all the grandkids over. So they don't have to fill
for their family as a
right
surprise.
as a surprise. Nice. Yeah. And they don't have to fill 80 eggs themselves because that becomes a lot. So we get to do it instead. And our staff and volunteers put on some bunny ears and they go on out and literally they put on bunny ears just in case somebody peeks out the window, which has happened. And we deliver eggs and handwritten notes tied to their front doors with pretty curly ribbons and bows from the Easter Bunny. So that also will be released in the next little bit. Is there any other questions? Do you guys have any questions about where we are budget-wise, making changes as needed? Removing that position,
No,
where we are
I think we're clear
fund-wise?
that obviously there is gonna be like some things that need to change, and I think that that's something that we can at this time cover, so.
Right.
It's sort of, it's, I think it's.
Yeah.
I think that was a good call.
I think so.
I think we can keep maintaining what we're doing.
Yeah.
With what we've done.
Yep, absolutely. And I will say too, I think we're gonna open up for 2 more positions for the summer, just because of who we have coming back,
And that is
their
included
schedules.
in our revolving fund with the counselors. And
Correct.
So that's not any additional money that we're asking.
Correct. Yep. So,
We'll pay for what we-
so yeah, so there will be, we're hiring coming out pretty soon for a couple of counselors for the summer as well. Also, folks had some questions about, with the schools up in the air about, closing or not closing, or where they're gonna be or where they're not. Our contract does stipulate for Spalding or any facility that has the same capacities to provide for the program. So we will be in one of the schools. Period. Which one I'm not sure of as of now. As of right now, it is currently Spalding and Hawthorne as usual. Unless anything drastic changes and we're notified.
And we'll pivot.
And then we pivot. We're really good at pivoting.
Yep.
We're really good at it. That became
Well,
such the word.
They
They do.
This is this is what they do with their kids. So.
Yep. Yeah.
They gotta go to
And
work.
a lot of the kids do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of the staff does. I mean, this is their thing. And it's,
Well, it's not common to see a lot of new faces because we have people that, once they start working here, they continue.
They do. Yeah. And a lot of them take off that freshman year of college and then come back for the summers after that, which I think is really exciting. So we have returning staff, and I'll do a couple more. Yeah, very well developed team, no doubt. And I will say too, a couple of my staff currently, I can't do all of them, but a couple of my staff currently are working on getting the same sexual safety certification that I did through Massachusetts, through the
And
MRC.
that's something that we.
It's not paid for. It's free.
Oh.
Yeah, it's free.
There's
Yeah.
Many people that can't get it.
Yeah, and we'll be bringing some of the parent classes that they have to the area as well.
Yeah.
Very
And
important.
that's the thing, I think people don't realize that we do a lot of other stuff,
Yeah.
like you're saying, like the adult stuff.
And the certifications, again, that's a huge part of it. To make sure that our staff is covered and caring for the kids properly.
Yeah.
So that is it on my end, and all of that information, I think. Did anybody have any questions before they close it out? What do you got, Cindy? What do you got for us?
I'd like to go back to, what's funded by the taxpayer. That's everything on this.
$2,500 towards the building. Yes. So,
What's funded by,
mhm.
is the only, everything else is funded by.
Mhm.
Okay,
If it's a 001, starts with the 001, that is the town general fund. If it's a 203, that is our revolving account.
and I know you talked about, limiting your increases in program fees
Absolutely.
to help the community. But I'm wondering if you, I mean, I'm not going to comment anything, I'm just asking. Private citizen. Would it be have you considered, or would you consider either increasing your fees to help cover a little bit more of this? To help to reduce the burden on the taxpayer, because there's almost a $2 million
I'm aware.
override being asked for next.
And I am the absolute tiniest budget in town.
I'm sure.
We can certainly give back the $2,500 that comes to the building too. I mean,
Like we were saying
Yeah,
about
we
that assistant director one, that, sad to see it go because we won't be getting it back.
Right.
But it makes sense for the town.
Right.
And we can see
Right.
that. And because,
Program fees increase,
we did increase over last year,
I mean,
but
I
no,
know it's hard.
we're not planning on increasing any further than what we have. We did. We already did. Yeah, between last year and this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already did.
I'm not trying to debate, I'm just trying to ask,
Yep.
because, I mean.
And we already did.
I know that I think most people do know that your salary is
Right.
covered
Yep.
by the town, but, even things like.
Yeah, all of the
$2,500.
all of the department heads in town are covered by the town. Yeah.
I mean, even, if there's money left.
So the $2,500, like I said, we have this building. So the $2,500 is office and building, basically. ink and toilet paper, because we're not covered by facilities for like that stuff.
So,
Right,
which.
Yep.
The revolve, the
Yep.
people that are participating could
Yep.
be considered to contribute to that. I mean, that's just my thinking that.
and we do,
Rather than worrying about laying off staff or
Right.
canceling
Yeah.
anything, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever anybody can chip in easily.
absolutely.
You have
Yeah, that's what
$2,500.
Yeah. It's not out of the realm.
Under the same cost
Yeah.
structure.
It's not under the
another
realm.
Kid to come in
Yeah.
for that full 2,000.
Yeah, like I
It
said,
would be
it's,
great if we had more kids coming in.
yeah,
We've got
Yeah.
competition,
Yeah.
so that's why we try to not raise our prices.
beyond.
Not too much. We've
Right,
done
we
it.
do- they go up.
It goes up every, more
Depends
than
what
we
every year.
necessarily would want it to, but like
But
you
we're
said,
here
you
to
have
help,
to.
yeah, we're here to help the family.
Yeah, that's what
We have to make
recreation
sure that
departments
the
are.
families can afford it.
Yeah.
That need it.
So yes, the rates have gone up.
Yeah, there has been.
There has been an increase, to cover, obviously. And yeah, it's not a matter of, I mean, we just laid out the numbers. You know, we bring money in and it comes out, and we pay our staff and we pay for the supplies. And we do it smart, a lot of our supplies
And if you
come
break that
from all
down,
sorts of places.
our
Yeah,
budget,
our
you know,
budget.
per town person.
And
Yeah.
a lot of stuff is donated. We have a
lot
lot
of
of stuff donated.
And I go to the Great Exchange a lot in Devon's, a great plug for them. They're amazing. It's all recycle, reuse from facilities that have closed down or are rehabbing their buildings. So a lot of our stuff comes from there, which is awesome. I do consistently for years. For years.
Yeah.
For years.
If I hear of anybody.
We use it
Department using that.
all the time.
I was pleased to see it.
Yeah, all the time. And again, a lot of
We get
stuff is
creative.
donated. We get creative. We're really good at creativity here. Yeah, really good at creativity. And yeah, so we have the 2,500. We understand that every bit helps and counts, and we're starting at what has been mentioned, and that's with the assistant director's position. Because again, keeping in mind that my
And we're not
make is
saying that shouldn't happen. We're
No.
just-
no, that this is where we are right now. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Can I say one more dirty word?
Feel free.
Sliding scale.
Oh, Okay, here's why we don't do a sliding scale. Because nobody wants to have to pay more hours. And in order to manage a sliding scale and the kind of paperwork that it requires to get all of the information for things like how much people are making and how much they spend and whether or not they're on SNAP or whether or not there's divorce payments, et cetera, et cetera.
So the administrative cost.
The administrative costs well outweigh any ability to do that, unfortunately. Yeah, and again, we've kept our rates really, really low so that we don't have to add to administration and add to staffing by doing, oh, well, let's give a 10% off here or 20%. Typically what we'll do is we'll do an early bird or we'll do a weekend special somewhere in there and it's one bang and done instead of trying to escalate the amount of paperwork
Yeah,
and
and people
tracking
know
that's
that's
required.
coming, so
And
they
they
can
know it.
plan.
Mhm.
They know, like, when it opens up, it might be a little bit less than
Mm-hmm.
the week before.
Yeah,
And your fees are competitive with the other side.
yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
And our hours,
I
yeah,
want to say similar.
yes.
A little bit lower, so that
Lower.
you want to get more kids because.
Yeah, well, we've always
It's
been,
still
A
high.
little bit below, but not.
yeah, not massively amounted. We've always been,
Well, like you said, it
Pretty low.
works out to be about $6 an hour.
yeah,
Like,
six,
can't get-
yeah, six and a bit, yeah, 6 and a bit for an hour, is where we end up, resting usually 6 and a bit. It's more, and as people can start emailing me, no, it's not, when you break down this, listen. So the 6 plus an hour, 6 and a bit an hour is for if you do the
The
least
whole-
expensive option, which is the entire summer. It's just like marketing everywhere, guys. If you buy in bulk, it's less expensive than if you buy one at a time. So the rates go up. Right. So when the rates do go up, I know we've done that actually. We've done that actually. Yep. Did finance classes, did home ec.
A lot
So-
of the stuff that people are saying they
Yeah.
want to see in the schools.
I know. Yeah, we've done here. We did. So, yeah, so it is, bear in mind, folks, before you send me an email that you're like, that is not the truth. It is the truth. It's just buying in bulk versus buying a single one. It's what package you need, and costs are higher the less you buy versus buying the Costco version, the big bulk, right? So that's where it is on that one too. Is that all? Ladies, anything? No? Okay. We're thankful so much that you guys came and that we were able to have these meetings over the last week and get more information about what the town is looking for from us and what the committees are looking for from us, and be able to, you know, just make some of our communications a little bit clearer for everybody. And so that they know where and what our staff and I'm doing and what our committee's doing and what we have going forward. So did you guys want to call us to close? It's
10:30.
Ooh, on the dot.
We'll call this, work session to close at 10:30 on March 6th.
Thank you, everybody.